to the 100% transparency with the Give Group. My name is Gio.
Corey.
Daniel.
Patrick.
And on tonight's episode, we're going to dive into location.
Very important.
As a real estate investor, you need to have clear directives of where you're investing, why you're investing in this area, and because if you don't understand the location, it could cause some serious financial issues for you. Like example, us here in Miami, when you go to Cleveland, homes are different. Totally. This whole Miami vibe, please don't bring that shit to Cleveland. I'm telling you right now.
You will lose.
You will lose. You will. It's like, I think it's just probably the fact that Cleveland sometimes is cold. Certain little setups or certain little design just won't do well. Like example, they enjoy hardwood floor in Cleveland.
It's a different culture.
Here, we don't give a come on, no.
It's a different culture.
It's
The mindset is different.
it's different.
Yeah.
It's just a totally different.
We want
It's different.
big 18-inch tiles.
Tiles, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's totally different. So you need to understand the location and pick the right location for several reasons, right? When we're just starting out, we couldn't invest in Miami. It was just too expensive here.
Yeah.
So the entry point is what got us into Cleveland.
Yeah.
Our first deal we bought for $34,000.
Yep.
$34,000 can't even
three-
get you a room in
three
Miami.
a three bed, a 3-bed, 3-1, right? Was a
Yeah,
one
it was 3-1 with
3-1.
a basement.
with a basement,
And one of the basement, it was half finished.
right?
The basement was half
They
finished.
had an extra room down
Yeah,
there.
it had an extra
Right.
room. Yeah.
So, where are you gonna find a 3-1 with a whole functional basement?
Yeah.
For
that
$34,000.
That house, even if it was distressed here, you better
You
have
still
at
wouldn't
least
be able to
300,
pay, right.
like 300,000.
There's no way.
300,000.
You gotta be
distressed.
you gotta be realistic with what your expectations are
Yeah.
and what you're taking in.
Yeah.
For $34,000, be realistic. You're gonna spend the next 1,000 years looking for something like that down here.
Down here, yeah.
You're not going to.
It's not gonna happen. So
Don't
this
be
is-
afraid.
Yeah. So this
Reach out of state.
Yeah.
That's what Cleveland.
Yeah.
You know, we're starting from the bottom. We're not starting with a whole bunch of. We got to go do the legwork.
Yeah.
Get some money together.
Yep.
And we were realistic. Our money's not really gonna work a lot down here in South Florida.
Yeah.
So be realistic.
I mean, we came up.
Cleveland's
on,
where
we
we're
came
going.
up on funding.
Yeah.
Came up
Yeah.
on a ton of money on funding, but in order to make that funding make sense to us, in the sense of making a profit,
Yeah.
you wouldn't be able to do that down here like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And the funding that we got, we would have been able to buy one house.
Yeah.
And then move from there.
From there.
The funding that we have, we going to Cleveland,
Yeah.
3-4 properties.
Easy.
Quantity.
You know what I mean? So you have to know, again, the location that you're going to.
Yeah.
The entry point
entry
for the
point, right.
location, because like example, big shout out to as well my homegirl Michelle. She's in doing big things out in Macon, Georgia. I think I remember when we had dinner and we discussed this whole idea at one point. I actually brought this idea to my family as well, but you know that's another conversation. I went out to Macon like 3 times, you know, but the numbers, you could find properties out in Macon, Georgia, 20,000,
Yeah.
25,000. But when the amount of work you have to put into the properties, and then the ARV,
Yeah, what the numbers
just,
look like.
The numbers just didn't make sense.
wasn't
in
making-
addition to the numbers not making sense, homes sit on the market a lot longer because the population,
Right.
it's
not growing like that.
It's not
Macon is like how far out from the main.
So it's like an hour and it's like an hour and 40. It's like an hour and 30, hour and 45 minutes, I would say,
Okay.
out from the city itself. So that kind of turned us off from Macon. And I think at Corey's house we were just having a conversation and it was between Detroit?
Detroit.
Cleveland. And I think me and this guy we jumped on a flight and we went to Cleveland because of the entry point. You know, the ARV that we saw versus what homes are being sold for. You know what I mean? And it just made better sense for us to just stick within that market. So I think
Usually, what we've been seeing is your Midwest cities for the most part is
Yeah.
good. You know,
Right now, yeah.
right now, Milwaukee,
Yep.
Indianapolis, just to name a couple.
yeah,
There's a bunch out there. Detroit is also a good one. Philly, there's some spots in Philly too. Even though
Yes.
it's north.
Yes.
I know I've seen some investors getting busy out there too.
Yeah.
You just have to know there's no right or wrong
yeah,
location. You
Agreed.
just gotta know if you're
Where
cash
you-
heavy
Yep.
and you got a lot of capital.
Yeah.
And you could, fork up an entry point of $200K on your first deal.
yeah.
Then by all
By all
means,
means,
take
go
it.
ahead. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
but you just your location is your bread and butter.
And I'm glad you actually said that, because different investors are in different places financially. Like, I got a couple of partners right now. They have millions of dollars reserve to do whatever. They could do that type of stuff. They could go wherever to go buy homes.
Right.
You know what I mean? But new investor, you don't have enough capital. You want to do your homework.
Yeah.
Find a state where the entry point is not as crazy as like a Miami, or right now Atlanta entry point is crazy as well, because home prices have increased significantly in the Atlanta area. So just do your homework as far as the location, the entry points, what the ARV is going to be, etc., and then you'll kind of make a decision what is feasible for you in your particular situation right now.
Your average, and keep in mind too, a lot of times the bigger the entry point, the bigger the return.
Yeah.
That's the trade-off, right?
Yeah.
So keep in mind that, okay, would you rather work one property, maybe two max, wait about 4 to 6 months, be done and collect $100,000 in profit, or would you rather scale, pick up about 4 or 5 properties
Yep.
at a smaller entry point, and on average, like in Cleveland, your average, profit is usually around 40K, 35, 40K,
So far, yeah. Yeah.
unless you pull a McCall like and
We've had some nice numbers, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Real
Some
nice.
nice numbers.
Real nice.
That deal actually was, just to go back in our previous episode about relationships, that was an off-market deal that our realtor Jamie put
Again.
us on to, because she had a client.
She had
that,
a client, yeah.
was ready to get rid of.
Again, having the right people, the right
In
relationships.
the right relationships.
That was
Things.
our second deal, and
Second deal was
that
that
deal
big
set us
deal.
up.
Yeah, it
for
was a
lot.
nice deal.
Relationships.
So where we're talking about location, with your low entry point, with different cities. Now, remember also, location also means within the city as well,
Yeah,
right? So there's certain places,
certain pockets. Yeah,
pockets in that city that you definitely need to stay away from.
yeah,
Obviously, everywhere is going to have their suburbs, and everywhere is going to have their inner city, and everywhere is going to have such and such. But zip codes,
yeah.
when we come to realize
It's a
you
big
have
thing
to
out in
do some
Cleveland.
work
Yeah.
on those zip codes that you need to purchase your property. So when we're talking about location,
Yeah.
it's not only the city that you're going,
Yeah.
but when you go into the
need to
actual
know the
city,
pockets,
you
yeah.
need to know the pockets of where you need to purchase.
I
your
feel
property.
Especially out in Cleveland, bro.
Yeah.
Like we've driven the city so many times. 1 minute you're like in Cleveland Heights, or you, in a few minutes you're in East Cleveland.
Right.
And if you understand, we don't do business in East Cleveland, man. And then again, like a couple of people have recently asked me this question, right? They've gotten deals in Shaker Heights, and this is their first deal. And when they text me, I pick up the phone and call. I'm like, do you know where you're really asking to do your first deal? It's Shaker Heights. Shaker Heights is one of they're so strict. The contractors that are working in Shaker Heights have to be registered in Shaker Heights. Shaker Heights POS is very heavy. It's heavy. That could kill you on your deal if you don't know what you're doing.
POS, point of sale. So,
Point of sale.
you know,
Point of
people
sale
who doesn't know.
inspection. So, quick little gem.
Yeah.
Your point of sale inspection. Usually, the city will take a look at the property that's distressed, and see what needs to be fixed to bring it up to code.
Up to code.
Right.
Why? Because in certain cities, certain suburban cities, they have a reputation to uphold.
Yep.
Which is understandable.
Shaker Heights.
What they'll do is create a point of sale inspection, put what needs to be fixed and repaired along with the value of what they think it's going to cost.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, you look, and if a point of sale is $5,000, that's not a big
fine.
deal.
That's not. That's good.
Why we're saying that is because that money gets put into escrow by the title company when you're purchasing the property.
Yep.
So say you got a POS of $30K.
And there are POS
I've
Oh,
seen
yeah,
Of
it's
30K.
disgusting.
I've seen
20,
100K,
30,
yeah.
40,
I've seen
50,000.
100K
And that's before you even come out of your pocket to
Pocket
go
to
put down the down
Right.
payment on
Yep.
the house.
Right.
Yep.
So Gio mentioned POS. I just wanted to break that down for
Yeah,
people who didn't know. As new investors, you may run into those things. Again, the locations.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to know where those POSs are and how much those POSs are going to be in order for you to purchase that property.
I like and when I say to add on to what you just said as far as zip codes and things of such, right? Is it safe to say that we like the burbs?
It's easier.
It's safe to say
It's easier.
Easier to do it.
It's not that it's only easier, it's safer because of the fact that you don't want to be in an area where you don't have eyes on every single day.
Yeah.
And you know that you're leaving your property and then anything could happen, right? People could come and
come break in.
and all that other stuff. And you're like, now you're starting to lose money, right? And that's
Like
not what the game
like
is.
even the project that we did on West 100th Street. Bro, every time I left there, I was nervous. I'm not even going to lie to you.
Right.
Every time I left, I'm like, God, please, let nobody break in. We just bought the refrigerator and all that good stuff put inside. Please let nobody break in and take stuff out, man.
But real quick, going back to what you said about knowing the city and all the different parts of the city, I think this also tying all the episodes. Knowing your realtor, they'll be able to enlighten you, educate you about what zip code is doing good.
Yeah.
What zip code is the suburbs, which one is the inner city.
Yeah.
And that's when you really gotta tie in and build those relationships with those people.
Yeah.
Because I don't care who you are. If you're a person that's always been South Florida, never left South Florida, and you went to Cleveland, you could read, you could type, you could find out. Yeah, you get some information, but when you could talk to other people,
That's underground.
hey, 44105. What's that? What's it like over there? You want somebody to actually talk to you and let you know what the ARV usually looks like, and you'll get those answers from a good realtor.
Like, check this out. What you just said is a valid point. A wholesaler sent me a 3-unit apartment and 2 storefronts for 100. Well, he said the lowest price because you know me, I'm not paying full price for nothing. He got him all the way down to 115. I want you to hear me out clearly. 115,000. 3 units, 3 apartments, right? I think each was 2-1. Each apartment was 2-1, and the storefronts. And I sent it to Jamie. Jamie said, "Gio, do you want that kind of hit?" I said, "Say no more."
Exactly.
I said, "Say no more. I'll keep it moving."
It looks good on paper, but you got to get good.
And no, just to dig a little bit deeper in location, know that certain zip codes, like when it comes down to doing your rehab, like certain finishes won't fly in certain suburban areas versus the inner city.
Yeah.
Correct.
Which is, I think, where a lot of new investors, I mean, we've made that mistake too, putting too high end
Into certain areas.
finishes into certain areas,
Like
and then
in 100th Street, we put quartz in 100th
Yeah.
Street.
But again,
That
this
slab
is,
of quartz cost us $1,800, bro.
this is again your trial and error as new
Yeah.
investors, right?
Yeah.
So the mindset that we have coming from Miami,
Yeah.
you go into a place like that and you're like, all right, I want this to be like that, this to be like that. But in that location, people
They don't care.
Yeah, they don't
talk about
They don't
what
care that.
this
care
looks
too
like,
much,
right?
yeah.
They don't care. They just want to make sure that that property is all the way good.
Yeah, and
to
it's
go.
functional. And it's
right?
functional, yeah.
So be careful with that because, like Corey said, in certain areas, you're putting high end stuff in there. People don't.
You'll lose it.
But if you
don't-
don't,
won't get
in
your money
other
back.
areas, then you're like, you're not gonna get a buyer because they're gonna walk into that place and be like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Right. So again, you have to know what details you're gonna put in certain neighborhoods when you're purchasing a property.
Yeah, me personally,
Educate yourself.
in the Cleveland area, this is just my personal preference. I like the burbs, man. I rather stay in the burbs all day.
It's easier.
Yeah, you know
Easier
what I mean?
to deal with. And
Yeah, it's easier.
also, to go just a tad bit deeper, when you're choosing a location, think about the climate that you're going in,
Yeah.
the weather,
Yep.
That's a big factor.
right?
That's a big factor.
That's a big factor because, for example, right, in your colder states,
Yeah.
you know, Cleveland gets
Cleveland,
cold.
very
right?
cold.
When you buy a property
Yeah.
and you're trying to turn on utilities and stuff like that, there's been so many times where we take a flight and we're like, yo, gee, what time is the water company coming? The water company comes and they're pretty they suck, by the way.
Yeah.
They give
They need to
give
get
like
rid of the whole building.
they give like an all day window, like it don't even
It's-
make no sense.
It's
But
different.
anyway,
It's totally different in
basically
here,
they'll get there. If it's cold, know that they're not gonna turn
They're
on
not doing anything.
the water, right? Unless you have
Yeah.
heat on.
You gotta put the heat
man.
on.
Because it will burst the pipes.
Right.
Yeah.
It will burst the pipes.
And
so.
a lot of the times too, that's another thing. It's no surprise, especially dealing with Cleveland and distressed properties. The homes are old,
Yeah, it's
so a
old
lot of the
homes.
piping
Yeah.
and all of that, you know, corrosion sets on quicker because it's colder and the salt and everything like
Right,
that. So
right.
that's another
Not
thing that you
only
wanna take into
not
account.
only that, not only were you talking about utilities and all that stuff, but also when you're trying to get work done,
Yeah.
right?
I was about
you
to touch
have
on that.
your
Because-
property.
because Cleveland, when it
Now
gets
you
starts
have
snowing
this,
and
the
stuff.
snow coming in.
The snow.
It kind of
yeah.
holds you up because your contractor and his people are not going to be going out there working, right? And I get it. It's difficult to work in the cold environment. Moving on from the cold,
Yeah.
Cleveland now has a rainy season, so
it's rainy,
that's
yeah.
also another situation where you know you have to take in consideration those type of things. Like Florida is just fucking hot,
All the time.
right? All the time, every day, all day. People are
And we
used to
have
that.
a
They're
little
gonna go
hurricane
work.
season every now
But
and
when
then,
you
know?
have different, like Florida has one season. But when you have different seasons in these different areas,
Yeah.
you gotta account for those things and know that you might run into some problems where utilities may be turned on.
Yeah.
Or you might run into problems where you have a time frame for your house to get done, but it's not
Exactly.
gonna be able
It's not
to.
going to be.
You have your own deadline, but you gotta entertain a little flexibility.
you gotta-
6
you
weeks
gotta
might not be
keep all
6
those-
weeks. It might be 9 because it's too cold. The
Right.
contractor can't come out and work because it's just freezing.
And
So
you know what? You just said something that pissed me off recently, bro. Contractors say he's not coming to work because
you remember
it's
that?
cold.
Remember that?
You know how much times? What was it? It wasn't me. It was one of these contractors that we subcontracted somebody to do some work. And he's
They weren't
like,
working
"Yo,
because
man,
it was
I'm
too
not coming.
cold.
It's too.
It was way too cold.
And I'm like, I don't live here.
What?
And I'm still driving from Cleveland Heights all the way over to freaking was it the Lyndhurst house?
I think so, yeah.
And I'm driving
But
all
again,
the way to
it's
Lyndhurst.
the mindset.
And you're telling me
It's
that
the mindset.
you're not coming to work?
It's the mindset
Yeah.
that these people have.
Yeah.
You're gonna run into please, you're gonna run into all these things.
Yeah, you're gonna
Just-
run into a lot of
just
different. So
be
you have,
patient
Yep.
and just know that it's things that you're gonna have to deal with.
Yeah.
But there's ways of getting around those things. Again, when we talk about location, know where you want to go invest, right?
yeah,
Just know that because you might get in a situation where it's like your first property may not go the way that you want it to go, and you're just done, right? But you just have to keep pushing and know that this is a long-term investment that you're trying to do. It will work. Have to be patient, but again, location,
right.
all right.
And to sum things up, to sum this whole episode up, your location, you need to know exactly where you're going to invest. You need to understand entry points. You need to understand the pockets
Yep.
within that area that you're investing to understand, is it safe?
Yep.
Right? What is the population in the area? Are people actively buying? How long is home staying on the market in this area? These are all data where you have to team up with your realtor and yourself and just do some homework to make sure you make the right decision for you. You know what I mean? Because as I said, I have friends who could buy plenty of homes here in Florida. Unfortunately, the entry point here is just crazy. So know where you are financially and make a decision based on those other criterias that we've discussed. And then once you make that decision, get to work.
Know
Right.
the population. I like that because
Yeah.
the fact that we mentioned Detroit earlier in the session that we wanted to go to, but when we did the research, we realized that obviously with all the manufacturing jobs taken out of Detroit, right, which that was the sustainability of the city, right. The homes are cheaper, but who's gonna buy?
There's
it?
nobody.
There's nobody there to buy it. You know what I mean?
Sure, your
So
foot traffic is
right, the foot traffic in wherever you're going has to be there. People have to, the population has to be a certain level where, okay, I can buy these homes. People are there to purchase these homes, right? Business or functioning in these areas. So look at that too, right? Your population, the environment that you're buying your property.
Population, absolutely. And you gotta make sure also, I mean, you buy a house in wherever it is, Detroit or Cleveland, and you wanna, rehab it up to a certain point. But you gotta think, the price I'm trying to sell it for is a person that wants. If I price it at $200,000 or maybe $400,000, is somebody with a $400,000 check gonna come here
Right.
To buy.
to this inner city to buy?
Yeah.
You gotta be realistic.
Yeah, you gotta be realistic.
So you gotta know that.
yeah.
So
Gotta understand. Well, guys, I appreciate y'all listening to us. Hope this was informative. If you like this video, would like us to put out more content like this, subscribe, and just leave us a comment below.
Yes.
So the algorithm picks us up. So YouTube starts sharing our information with more and more people. It costs $0 to support somebody. Just click that subscribe button. Share this with a friend. Appreciate you guys watching. And we'll see you on the next time.
yes, sir.
Peace.